Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're looking at something a bit different. Not the usual reports, but a modern folktale.
That's right. It's called The Weaver in the Cloud. And honestly, it might just be one of the clearest guides we've seen for navigating success and connection today.
Especially in this age of screens, right? It feels incredibly relevant.
Exactly. So our mission really is to dig into the story and see how genuine connection, soul, sincerity, authenticity, how that can actually thrive when faced with tech, speed, and massive scale. What the story calls the cloud.
Okay, let's set the scene then. It starts with Mira. She's a weaver, lives in a small mountain town.
And her craft is very specific. The story says her hands were known for crafting these incredibly soft shawls.
It mentions qualities like warmth, care, and a quiet prayer woven in. That's not just a product description, is it?
No, not at all. It's about embedded intention. She's selling something much deeper than just fabric from the very beginning. That's key.
Right, and then comes the conflict. It wasn't digital at first, was it?
No, interestingly, it was industrial. The story talks about these large factories appearing.
Producing clothes that were, what was it?
Quick, cheap,
That's
identical. They sound familiar.
Yeah, very familiar. That's the core economic challenge, isn't it? This velocity trap you mentioned.
Tell us more about that trap.
Well, if you, the listener, are making something with real quality, putting time and care into it, you're immediately up against automated efficiency, speed, low cost.
And the consequence for Mira, her shop just grew quiet.
Yeah, the loom set still. Her craft, her soulful work was getting drowned out by mass production.
It poses that fundamental question. How do you hold on to value, onto your purpose, when the market just wants faster and cheaper?
That pressure, that need for speed leads right into the next phase. Her son, Arin, comes from the city.
Right. Arin represents the tech imperative. He sees the problem and has the solution.
He tells her, "Mother, you must come online. People sell their work on the cloud now."
You'll reach thousands. That's the promise, isn't it?
It's that moment every traditional creator faces, I think. The need to jump from the tangible, local world to the abstract digital one.
That jump from the market square to the global platform.
And Mira's reaction is just perfect.
Yeah.
Captures that hesitation beautifully.
What does she say?
She frowns and asks, "The cloud? But I've never seen it rain from there."
Huh. Yeah. That skepticism about whether the digital space can truly hold, real value, it's profound.
But she agrees. Arin gets to work, sets up the page, takes nice photos.
Does all the things you're supposed to do, basically. Uploads them to the platform, the cloud.
And this is where it gets really interesting for our deep dive, because it fails.
Utterly. People come, they click around a bit, and they leave. No sales.
Why? He did everything right according to the sort of standard digital playbook.
Well, that failure tells us a lot. Arin optimized for clicks, for getting eyes on the page, but he missed the conversion part.
The photos weren't enough.
They just couldn't convey the value. You could see the pattern, maybe the color.
But not the warmth, not the care, not that quiet prayer.
Exactly. It's a failure of sensory translation. And without that feeling, without that trust, what do people default to online?
Price.
Price. If it looks like any other shawl, why pay more? The digital image flattened the value proposition.
So the images alone couldn't build that trust across the distance.
Right. And Mira herself figures this out. Her diagnosis is the turning point.
What was it she said?
She sighed, watching the clicks come and go, and said, "They look, but they do not feel."
They look, but they do not feel. Wow. That cuts right to it.
It really does. That disconnect is the core challenge for anyone selling quality online, isn't it? B2B, direct to consumer, doesn't matter.
So the platform, the cloud, wasn't inherently the problem.
No, it was the content. What was being put onto the platform? Mira realized she wasn't just selling shawls, she had to sell the why.
Okay, so let's talk about that shift. This is where Mira takes control of the digital narrative.
Right, the big change. She decides to post a story with every single shawl.
Not just product specs. A story.
And this is the critical intelligence here. It wasn't just fluffy marketing copy. It was radical transparency. It was about the meaning.
What kind of details did she share?
Things like where the wool actually came from, what the mountain air smelled like when she was dyeing the yarn, real sensory details, context.
Stuff that authenticates the quality, makes it tangible even through a screen.
Exactly. But then she went deeper. She shared the specific hope she wove into each one.
Can you give an example?
Like, love for a daughter far away, or courage for someone feeling lonely, or peace for a restless soul. specific intentions.
Wow, that's incredibly personal.
It is. And that is how sincerity starts to scale. She wasn't just listing features, she was offering connection points, affinity data, essentially.
Instead of tracking clicks, she started generating emotional resonance.
Precisely. And the market response changed completely. People started writing back.
Not about the shawls themselves initially.
No, about the stories. They'd say things like they felt seen or comforted, they felt human.
That connection came first. The transaction followed.
Usually. And then the orders poured in. Because the shawls suddenly meant something personal to the buyers. They weren't just things anymore.
They became these narrative objects.
Right. Which allowed her to command a premium price. She escaped the commodity trap set by the factories.
But hang on, does this approach limit growth? I mean, she still has to physically weave each one, right? Can sincerity really scale against mass production?
That's a really important question. The story suggests success isn't just about volume. Mira wasn't trying to be the factory.
She was competing on value, not volume.
Exactly. By embedding these stories, she created this, well, call it a loyalty moat, something the fast, cheap competitors just couldn't replicate.
So her growth became focused, high value, profitable.
And sustainable. Her loom, as the story says, eventually spoke to hearts across oceans. Not through ads, but through authentic connection.
So what does this tell us for today? For businesses using digital platforms now?
It shows that authenticity isn't just nice to have, it's actually a strategic lever. Algorithms on these platforms reward engagement, right? Deep engagement.
Time on page, comments, shares.
Well, what generates deeper engagement than genuine emotion and connection? Mira's stories, her truth, created exactly the kind of high-quality signals that algorithms are designed to amplify.
So sincerity can actually work with the algorithm, not against it.
Absolutely. Authenticity becomes your best optimization tool, in a way, whatever the platform.
Which brings us to Mira's reflection near the end. That kind of sums it all up.
Yeah, it's powerful. She says the cloud may carry many things: noise, haste, and glitter.
Noise, haste, and glitter. That feels very
Pussy
24,
talks.
doesn't it? But, she says, if you send truth into it, truth will find its way back.
That's a profound statement. Truth will find its way back.
It's like a filter for your own communications, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, is what we're putting out there just more noise, haste, and glitter, generic stuff, fast content? Or is it truth? Real transparency about how you work, the intention behind what you do, the human element.
That promise that truth finds its way back feels like a kind of gravity. It pulls the right people toward you in a noisy market.
So the big takeaway from this deep dive seems to be, well, in a world obsessed with speed, sincerity is what actually connects. It's the durable advantage.
Whether you're using a loom or a laptop, thread, or code, as the story puts it, what you make with sincerity connects with the people who genuinely need it.
And those people value that connection. They'll seek it out.
Which leads to maybe a final thought, a question for you listening.
Okay.
If we accept this idea that the digital space is full of noise, haste, and glitter, and that truth is the antidote, what specific truth are you holding back?
Like, what quiet prayer or specific intention is hidden inside your work, your company, your product?
Exactly. What piece of sincerity, of realness, isn't being shared? Something that needs to be woven into your customer communication, maybe even your internal culture.
Because maybe that's the first step to cutting through the noise and finding your own true value in the market.
That's definitely something to think about.